In one of the previous videos, I established this fact. I established that w of pi over 6 was equal to the square root of 3 over 2, comma, 1 half. Now, in order to fully understand that, I think you have to watch the videos on the special right triangles, the 30, 60, 90, to be able to understand what I did there. What I'm going to talk about now is I want to talk about the wrapping function of pi over 3 and what it comes out to be. And I'm going to relate it very closely to pi over 6. So here we go. Let's assume we have the unit circle on the coordinate plane. Now, instead of pi over 6, instead of divvying up, and don't forget, going from here to here is like walking a distance of pi, okay? So if I divide this up into 3 sections, if I do pi divided by 3, that means I'm going to take it and I'm going to divide it here, here, and here. Now, if I go from here to here, that's like going 180 degrees. But if I only go a third of that, if I divide it by 3, then clearly this is a 60-degree. I don't really want to talk about degrees much, but just so you can relate to what I'm talking about, this is like a 60-degree turn, not a 180-degree turn. So really what I have, if I look at this triangle right here, is I have a 60, 30, 90-degree triangle. And I know that this is 1 because it's a radius. So it's really not much different from the way I developed the 30, 60, 90 triangle. But since this hypotenuse is 1, that means because the radius of the circle is 1, because I'm assuming it's a unit circle, that means the short side would have to be a half. And we know that the long leg, which is the one across from the 60-degree angle, is the square root of 3 times bigger than that. So this would be the square root of 3 over 2, which means the coordinate of that point right there would be 1 half, comma, square root of 3 over 2. So the way I would say it then is this. The wrapping function of pi over 3 is equal to 1 half times, or comma, square root of 3 over 2. So at this point, I think what you should be asking yourself is this. If we're talking about w of pi over 6 versus w of pi over 3, how do you keep it straight in your head which one's which? Is it 1 half, comma, square root of 3 over 2, or is it square root of 3 over 2, comma, 1 half? And here's the way I do it. Because later on when we start talking about other values, it's going to come up. So, excuse me, here's how I do it. If you're in the pi over 6 family, that means you've taken the top half of the circle and you've divided it into 6 pieces. Each piece is small. So this here is only going to be a 30-degree angle, which means it didn't rotate up very far, so the y coordinate has to be smaller than the x coordinate. So I know that the y is 1 half and the x is square root of 3 over 2 under the pi over 6 family. Whereas under the pi over 3 family, okay, that's the next one up, that would be here, and I know that I've turned more, I've turned 60 degrees, so the y coordinate is the one that has to be the square root of 3 over 2, and the x is only 1 half, so that goes with pi over 3. Literally, I think drawing the picture in your mind's eye is going to make a big difference, and that's how I would attack those problems. Later on in the next tutorial, I'm going to start talking what happens when I ask you angles other than pi over 6, pi over 3, but related to them.